What it do, y'all? It's your brother man from the motherland coming to you guys live from the NY, back with another one of that Repent or Die podcast. For those that don't know who I am him, June MBIC, giving all praise and glory to the heavenlies, for they are worthy to be praised. Last but not least, I want to give a shout out to all you guys for your continuous support, leaving all your feedback, positive, negative. All things is respected because it allows me to do what I do best, and that is to continue keeping my foot on these heathens, these Hebrews in the newly installed Heathen Nice. Next round of applause for that. As you can see, I got a band-aid on my index finger. I was putting some spinach inside the blender and I accidentally pressed the button while I was putting the um spinach down. So I cut my hand. I pulled my hand out in time. My reflex is still like a cat, but cut myself. Nothing crazy. But it is what it is. Had a phenomenal day. Hope you guys had a phenomenal day as well. Um, Definitely had a lot to talk about. Did a live today. We'll be uploading later on today, probably tomorrow morning. Um, Definitely gotta give you guys some previews to the podcast for those that didn't tune in. For has black professionals outpriced themselves in the marketplace in the job space. Very phenomenal, but that's not why I came on today. Excuse me. Had some castor oil. Now you're working out, you want to cleanse your insides. um I wanted to touch on, and I know this is gonna be very, I know it's gonna be very, very shocking, and some people might be disappointed, but I will never ever go back or be a part of any Hebrew Israelite organization, community, congregation, camp, church, whatever you want to call it. Now, for some that don't know, let me give you a quick background. I used to be a part of the congregation. Some may know it as GOCC, Gathering of Christ Church. Now, this is not a shot at none of these people over there. I met some good people. I seen some weird people. But overall, certain individuals ain't never did nothing wrong to me per se, right? I always had a cordial, mutual agreement. Was always a level of respect. Even your top teachers that you guys follow. I've been around. I know things. Not for me to disclose. Not here for that. But I just want you guys to understand that I've been in that presence. I've been in that circumference, right? And in my times being there, you know, you learn a lot. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for these particular individuals, I probably would have never picked up the Bible ever. Right? Now, on my journey to finding myself, I stumbled upon these brothers, and these brothers was was teaching what I learned growing up from my household, right? So the radical behavior that I've witnessed in my teens and early 20s wasn't something that I was too fond of because of this, malicious behavior. It's like, yo, what's wrong with these guys? You know what I'm saying? And then it was, and at that time, and even now that I'm thinking about it, it was more of trying to be seen than giving the word, right? Because giving the word, especially with the knowledge that I know now, right? You was required to go to the individuals that are lost. But you're going where you was they was making their presence be seen in the areas where people floss. So they wanted to, I guess, stand out and show individuals that there was more than just Pardon my language, a nigga, right? Cool. So I never understood that. And me just being an individual from outside, right? We was always told you never tell your enemy what you're gonna do. Right. So if I'm on enemy territory, I'm not about to condemn the enemy. The realest ones are the ones that's in the room, right? The quiet person in the room is the one you gotta worry about. Right? The dog that bark is the most is usually the softest. That's why you see a chihuahua is always the loudest dog. And then when a Rottweiler come, that's neither here nor there, right? So I never understood that, right? So I didn't gravitate to that. But like I said, on my journey trying to find myself, I stumbled upon these brothers, and these brothers was teaching the things that I was learning from my house, from my mom's. You know what I'm saying? My pops wasn't into all that, you know what I'm saying? But my mom, she's always, installed, the belief of Jesus, right? Jesus is the Lord and Savior. He's gonna save the day. He's gonna do this, he's gonna do that, right? So growing up, going through what I went through, tapping in Pan African, you know, Muslims, 5%ers, right? My cousin, he's a 5%er, and he was always trying to feed me today's mathematic is to me it was like, yo, today's mathematic is to be quiet, right? Because it just didn't make sense, right? It was just a whole bunch of niggas that came from jail that came up with their own religious system following Ben X. If I'm saying his name right, Ben X, X Ben, I don't know. But anyway, so me stumbling upon this organization, this so-called community, you know, they made me open the Bible. They made me see what the mainstream religion would not let black people see, right? They made me see a story about a particular group of people that went through what they went through. And of course, Deuteronomy chapter 28 played a very significant part in that. Oh, word. It played that part. But it just gave me a state of hope. Like, damn, so this is who we are. And then you be invested, you start learning, and from learning you end up teaching. So I end up teaching. I end up, you know, being on the street corners. Like I said, I've done debated the best of them, from Islam to the European Christians to the black Christians, the ones that believe salvation is for everybody. I dealt with it all. And I encountered numerous types of spirits, all types, right? I'm talking about all types, trainees, old man, butt naked, you name it. I seen it. I dealt with it. I rebuke it. And when it was all said and done, they all ran off. Right now, being a part of this, you was also being taught of way of life. Now, what you was being taught, for some that's coming from a house or coming from an environment with no order, for some it seems like, nah, this is how it's supposed to be, right? So you embrace this new level of authority, and you start to apply it to yourself, right? Where if anybody goes off, you automatically, it's like it's a trigger. Oh, yo, you're not in the right spirit. Yo, you need to fast. Yo, you need to pray. Or or you going back into the world. Like, what I'm saying? You hear it all. You heard all of it. You understand? You heard all of it. And during those times, I embraced those ideologies, and I enforced it in my house, children, my peers. You know what I'm saying? I really stood behind that, right? Cool. But at the same time, I realized that I was not following the ways of the creators, but yet following the ways of the organization, right? So it's this is the rules and regulations, right? And sometimes the rules and regulations didn't go hand in hand with the word, right? So when I got into my situation, you understand what led me to say, you know what, I'm good, was when I was told that I wasn't bigger than the church. So the church integrity was more important than my salvation, according to what I was told. That's what was told to me. So me hearing that, even though I invested years, money, time, effort, right? Late nights, you know what I'm saying? There's times I came home 2 o'clock in the morning from being there from 3 o'clock that afternoon. You understand? And there's no, you know what I'm saying? It's no malice behind that. It's just I'm just telling you the truth, right? So when I heard that, right, instantly, and they will say that a rebellious spirit came upon me, and you could call it that, but I tend to cleave on to this was the creators saying this is what you're gonna hear for me to remove you. Right? Now, I hear that. I look at I look at the circumstances and I say to myself, is this something that I want to be a part of? Right? Now, some of you guys are gonna be like, man, it seems like you're just upset, and that's what a lot of these brothers was was preaching and telling other individuals, that I was just upset, I was just annoyed, I was bitter. And if anybody knows me, I've never been upset on anything, right? When I don't rock with you, I don't rock with you. Like I don't. I have no care not to talk to somebody. It doesn't affect me. You know what I'm saying? Like I've learned to be an introvert my entire life. You know what I'm saying? My mom said, listen, people come and go, right? My first experience is losing my pops. When I lost my pops, I had to learn how to cope, right? There wasn't no what you call these people. There was no therapy for me, right? We don't know about that. This therapeutic approach is recent, right? It's not ancient to us, right? So me being in the state that I was in and falling back, right? I come to realize the reason why I could never go back, and why I would never go back, is because of the man-made. Oh, let me go back. Let me go back. Let me go back. Let me go back. And part of the reason why some may say I was rebellious, because like I said, I was in the loop. I've always been in the loop, right? So I'm in conversations, and we talking about the higher ups. I'm in those spaces when these conversations are taking place. And there was individuals in the hierarchy that was breaking all the rules and was never held accountable for any rule that was broken. You understand? There was individuals in position that when they women, mind you, these are brothers meeting women within the so-called congregation, and when the women no longer wanted to participate, right, or probably got fed up, overwhelmed, whatever it may be, because a lot of brothers took this authoritative position, right? This restore order, this orderly position that was passed down through the congregation. They brought that into their households to the point where it was friction between husband and wife, right? So a lot of these women got fed up, right? And stepped back. And according to the word, and I can't get it off the top of my head, if a man and a woman who was married under the congregational rules, and one of the rules is if you get married, there's no divorce. This is what I was told. This is what was taught. This is what we preached. This is what we stood on, right? So individuals got into circumstances with a woman and the relationship was a dub. But I was told that if you and your woman decides to depart, none of you guys can be in a situation, right? To know that brothers was sitting in those seats and not living by what they was teaching, right? So when the man and his woman separated, right, there's no divorce, so it was just a separation. Both of them was meant to be single, right? That's not what took place. So when the man and the woman separated, the man proceeded to go find another woman within the congregation and end up in a relationship and got married again. So there's two marriages that took place within that congregation. So when I seen that this was the approach, and then it was trying to make me be the sacrificial lamb, it's like, hold on. You know, decisions like that must first start from leadership. Don't try to trickle it down to the servants, right? The persons, the individuals that's literally just doing the deeds. And like I said, everybody do things wrong. The just man falls 7 times. Not about falling, it's about getting back up, right? So that right there was part of the reason why I said, nah, I'm not doing that, right? And not only did I say I'm not doing that, it made me internalize and say, wait, hold on. So two individuals in high rank positions are getting away with murder. And there's no penalty behind that. There's no positions laws. There's no suspensions taking place. But they want this to fall on me. That's when I started to realize, oh, this is an organization that is a respect of persons. It's really not the works of, and at that time, we're going to call it what it is. This is not the works of so-called Yeshua, Christ, right? This is not the works of that. This is the works of man, right? So depending on the position that you hold, we could just sweep things under the rug. So when I witnessed that, I instantly had a red flag, right? And through my time away, and I'm speaking before I even knew who Sunini Nanini was. During my time away, I still was in contact with a lot of brothers. And it was always love. Hey, yo, Junes, what's up, man? Yo, man, when you coming back, bro? We miss you. Boom, 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 boom. And I was like, I'll come back. I'm going to come back. Don't worry. Don't worry. You know what I'm saying? I'll just be busy. So at that time, right, I've been away from these people for so long. I started doing my own teachings, the same thing that I'm doing now. So prior to December conversation, it was called Sabbath Talk, right? So every Sabbath, we would talk. We would talk about the Bible. We would do whatever, right? So long story short, no, I can't say long story. Long story even longer, right? Brothers started reaching out, and as time go by, you know, it was still a level of hesitancy. And let me just throw this out there. I was still allowing, and I want to say allowing, I still was letting my children, yes, my children and my mother go into these congregations. While I'm separated doing my own thing, I'll allow them to go. I'll do whatever I was doing and still go out my way to pick them up, bring them home, etc. And even then, yo, bro, what's up, man? How's everything? You coming back? I said in due time, right? Now, I'm gonna tell you why. The main reason why I will never go back. I'm gonna tell you why. I just want to give you guys just a brief history, because you guys must know where I'm coming from when I display this. So I speak to the brothers. Brothers is reaching out. We still in contact. A lot of brothers, we still was chopping it up on social media, Instagram, primarily. We also was, seeing each other at the park. So when I go work out, I would see brother, we'll work out together, we'll have conversation, etc., etc. But even through that, right, the vibes were starting to feel a little different. Now, when you somebody from outside that grew up in the streets, when the vibes is different, it means two things. Always remember this. When the vibes is different, it only could mean two things. It's either somebody don't like you or individuals is talking about you, right? So when I notice the vibes being a little shaky, me, I don't play nothing. You know what I'm saying? I don't stress it. Like I'm too grown. I've been through too much in life to worry about he says, she says. I come from sticks and stones don't break bones. Sticks and stones may break bones, but words don't hurt. I come from that. I don't come from, somebody writes something on the internet and there's war and I'm going back and forth. I'm not into stuff like that, right? Now, one particular day, I got into, my brother called me. And should I call him my brother? I don't know. Let's just say a Hebrew called me. And we had a lengthy conversation, a conversation that eventually went left, because the individual was trying to persuade me to be in a spirit I refuse to be in. And this conversation is what made me go in depth into the studies of what you guys will call so-called spirit. So there's a difference between being in a spirit and having a spirituality. It's different, right? Just like if I put the word then and or then, I forgot. There's a particular word that means two things, right? Depending on how you spell it, but you guys know what the meaning is, right? So having this conversation with this brother, and for it to go left to the point where it's like the individual was saying things in the notion like I'm being emotional, but at the same time, you the one that's talking over me. So you have to ask yourself, then who's really being emotional when a man is speaking, but somebody else tends to speak over that, right? So long story short, long story even longer. Excuse me. We got off the phone. It was like, all right, bro, whatever. Day later goes by. Um, Apologies, like, yo, my bad, bro, if I offended you. The typical Hebrew stuff. Cool. Not stressing it. Now, where things started really going left, where I really, really realized that this was all about, you know, gaining souls to uphold their congregation, right? Because it's all about soul entrapment. It's really not about uplifting. It's not about the redemption of the chosen seed. It's not about that. It's about who can I control, where can I make profit, and who's being profit the most, right? This is just what it is. Or every single one of these organizations, camps, church, congregation, whatever, all of it is got one mentality. It's really not the redemption and the freedom and rebuilding of a nation. That's why, you can't even call it a community, because a community is a collective group of people from all over coming together and creating something and establishing something that every single person should benefit. I mean, every single person that's following the ways, keeping the laws, shall all be benefiting. Also means that the names of the so-called creator will be in one accord, right? Cool. So when I realized that this was all about soul entrapment, was when I did find out about, South Africa being the Holy Land. And I'm be honest with you, when I first heard it, the very first time I heard it, I was like, man, look at this blasphemy, man. What's wrong with these people? You know what I'm saying? The very first time, right? And a particular individual called me and told me that. Not gonna say his name. I said, man, I was like, yo, bro, man, I ain't trying to hear that, right? And when my brother, shout out to my brother, man, you know what I'm saying? I hope all is well. Whenever you hear this, man, give me a call. You know who you are. When the brother called me on the Sabbath day, and we're gonna call it how it is, on the Sabbath day, I was getting ready to come on live. The same way you guys see me coming on live wilding, I was getting ready to come on, and my brother called me 5 minutes into the broadcast. Because this is my bro, is the only reason why I answered the call. Anybody else, I would have been like, yo, I'm gonna call you back. Even my right hand man, I would have been like, yo, I'm gonna call you back. So me answering that call, when I sit back and look at it, it was a phone call that I had to answer. Meaning I didn't even have control. Something just took over my hand, took over my mind, says answer it. I answer it, and voila, here we are. So when I got the understanding that I got now I'm still a babe. I'm still like the mass majority of you guys, right? The mass majority of you guys are, you guys are just now receiving this truth, this understanding, right? But like I said, I've been doing this for years, right? Years. We my son is gonna be 19. We talking 15 years. I'm talking about spirituality, tapping in, finding self, etc., etc. We own 15 years, right? So when I came out and started understanding Sunni, and even prior to that, even once I got the revelation from the brother, I didn't just jump ship. I still was spectacle. I still was like, wait, what? Ah, man, tough pill to swallow. I sat down with the Wiz. I'm talking about, it's probably like a whole week. I'm gonna see if I could find. I'm gonna see if I could find the Sabbath talk. It's somewhere saved on if it's not on my playlist, it's somewhere saved in my archives. I'm gonna find it. And that was like the shortest Sabbath talk I have ever done in my life. And all through it, all I kept saying is, yo, I got some information, which is crazy. I gotta look into it. I'm not gonna bring it out until I get more understanding. Right? That's what I kept saying all through that video. The video shut off. And even when it shut off, I said to myself, nah, I ain't gonna go look into that. Because I was spectacle. I said, wait, what? Hold on, etc., 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 etc. It was still a high level of doubt. What made me realize that this story was facts Forget Genesis 13. Genesis 13, yes, it was like the icing on the cake. But the what was the factual aspect for it for me was in the book of Jasher. Because I know the book of Genesis. I know how the story of Noah and at that time I thought it was the three. Let's call it the three bears. I know how that story went. And I read the book of Jasher. But when you read in the book of Jasher under a spiritual control, when something is controlling you or is hovering over you, it's hard for you to see that. Or maybe it wasn't meant for me to see it then. So when I went and I seen that in the book of Jasher, chapter 5, verse 17, you can read it on your own time. When I seen that, that's when I said, oh, and I'm on them to lie to me. Then from there, that's when I was like, nah, let me go look into it. I'm on Facebook. And at that time, and I'll be honest, and I'm going to be honest. Coming from the teachings of these brothers from GOCC and listening to somebody like Umdallah, the accent, the singing, playing with the piano, that wasn't something I wasn't trying to hear that. Like I can't get this from this guy right here. You know what I'm saying? So started digging. You know what I'm saying? And the brother that called me and revealed this to me, he said it himself. He was like, I'm not gonna give you Umdallah's teachings because it might just not be, you might not be ready for it at the time. And he was right. So he gave me a sister, forgot the sister's name, but the sister came out, you know, she was like 1948 apartheid, South Africa apartheid, literally at the same time, and all of this and all that, and this, boom, 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 boom. I'm saying to myself, all right, yeah, cool. Now let me go dig deep. So I dig deep. And I know I'm being long-winded, but I just want you guys to get this understanding. So I dig deep. I start getting more information. I start uncovering. So the first thing that I need to do whenever I step into an establishment, similar to how I move in real life, I need to know who's the head man in charge. Why? Because if anything go wrong, or if anything pops off, I need to know who I need to be aware of. Nothing personal, it was just how I was brought up, right? When you a lion, you got to see who's the other lion in the room, right? Only the rats worry about the scums, and I could care less. I'm worrying about things pop off, yeah. And I'm already processing it in my head how I'm gonna take him down. Oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Whoa, 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 whoa. You know what I'm saying? Like these are the things that's running through my mind, right? So then boom, I get this information. I remember I posted something. That Sunday. I posted something on my IG. And off the rip, remember the brother I told you we had a conversation and it was going left? Brother calls me again. He calls me this time. Now, this is early in the morning. We talking like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. But this time, he didn't call by himself. He called with somebody else. So it was basically a 2-on-1. And this 2-on-1 was basically a level of interrogating. I was being interrogated because I no longer was announcing. I denounced the teachings and the God that these brothers was subscribed to. I said, nah, bro, not calling on that. And I was interrogated, like for real. And at that time, I didn't have the knowledge that I had now. I just had the confirmation within me. Like I knew, like, nah, this is the truth. I just had the confirmation. Like I didn't need to prove. They won't call me now. Trust me. They won't call me now. But at that time, and don't let me not make this, let me not act like a thought of my mind was like, yo, maybe they right. Because like I don't like being I don't like being in a battlefield with no armor, no guns, no bullets, no nothing. I'm just defenseless. All the only thing I'm standing on at this particular moment is trust. And when you coming from these religious aspects, you know, trust is not enough, right? So long story, even longer. The brothers, we get off the phone, and now and to be honest, them doing that was the best thing that they could ever have done to me, because now it motivated me to learn more. It made me, it's like, oh yeah, you know, when you have the stove on just on low, but something crazy like you want to put a big meal, you trying to hurry up and cook, you turn the fire up. That's what that did. It turned the fire in me. And I'm gonna show you a part of the reason why, you know what I'm saying, this you know, community is nothing but a joke, right? Then I started posting things on my IG. And shout out to my mans. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have him on the show. I gotta make him my gunner. You know what I'm saying? And I posted something, and I believe I posted I posted Egypt where Abram went south. And my man said, yo, that makes sense. South from Egypt is going down. Long story, even longer, these individuals started to attack him. And in the process of attacking him, they was condemning me. They was talking about me. Mind you, these are individuals in positions of leadership. They took it upon themselves to throw me under the bus to persuade this individual to stay with them. Right? And when my mans told me that, that's why a lot of my videos that you see when I come off and I'm, you know, going at these brothers or going after the congregation, is because of the intel that my bro was telling me. And it wasn't no murmuring, no backbiting. It was like, yo, bro, yo, why these dudes just call me saying I'm this? Don't listen to you. You nuts. You mad. You angry. You pissed off. You just feeling like this. You wish you could come back. They was throwing everything. Mind you, these are the same people like, yo, bro, when you coming back, man? Yo, man, we waiting for you, bro. Come on, son, stop. You know, the world's getting crazy. We need you to come back. These are the same people that's telling me this is now telling my mans that I'm mad, I'm emotional, I'm angry, I'm etc., etc. Now, mind you, I've never even called to address these individuals on that type of time, because that's just not me, right? You know, you are entitled to feel how you feel. And on top of that, my mans know that I've never been the one to force anything down nobody's throat. Super pause. Sheesh, that was disgusting. You know what I'm saying? That's not my MO. My job is whatever revelation is displayed to me, I give it out to the world. I'm not worrying about the numbers. I'm not worrying about the followings. I can care less. If it goes to 2 people, I'm good. It goes to one person, I'm good. If it goes to nobody, at least the creators know I did my due diligence, that I just did what? Shot out into the wind. I did that. My job is done. You understand? So my brother ended up being more intrigued, right? Because everybody knows, let's just keep it 100. Everybody knows that, what I'm saying, slavery started from Africa. All that story that these people has been telling us, how we fled and we went into the mountains, and that's European stories. That's not us. We don't deal in mountains. We didn't climb no mountaintop. We don't do, all of that. We ain't living in nobody's mountains. We go to the mountaintop to give praise, and we come back home and we dwell the way we need to dwell. Okay? I'm just calling it how it is. So then, boom. Now I'm posting things. Like I said, the fire is burning. So now I'm posting and posting and posting and posting. And then one day, I think it was homie B Day or his son's birthday. I decided to give him a shout out. Like, yo, bro, happy B Day, boom, boom, boom. On IG. I realized I couldn't find son. So then now, even though as sterile as I may be, I do get petty at times. So I decided to text the brother. I said, yo, bro, you blocked me on IG? He said verbatim, yo, respectful and respectfully, bro, all that stuff you was posting was irritating my spirit. I said, ooh. Again, the word spirit. Not soul, but the spirit. I said, ooh. I said, but damn, bro, I thought our brotherhood went beyond religious perceptions and belief. I thought it was real. I thought it was genuine. I thought if things hit the fan and you needed my help, right? And I'm calling it how it is. You needed my help. You needed me to get you something lock and loaded. I'm that type of dude. So because we had a religious disagreement, so I was like, so bro, if I decided to be Islam, you would have still blocked me? He said, like I say, he said respectfully, he says, the stuff that you're teaching is false doctrine. I said, false doctrine. I said, but how can you prove what you're telling me is the truth? And then, they the rebuttals, I don't remember verbatim the conversation, but the overall aspect, I just said it like this. I said, yo, I appreciate you doing that. It just lets me know you was never my mans. You was only rocking with me because I was a part of an organization that you was a part of. So our friendship goes as far as my commitment to this organization. So since I'm no longer committed to this organization, I can't be committed to you neither. Pause. Let bygones be bygones, bro. I wish you well. You know what I'm saying? I wish your shorty well. Even, yo, bro, I'm not even going to get into that. I wish you well. I wish your shorty well. You do what you do, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to your little man. You know what I'm saying? Little man, that was, you know what I'm saying? Little man was with my daughter and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they literally like weeks apart. You feel me? So I let that be. Then he took it upon himself to then come after my man. So then now my man is getting fed up and he cut them all off. Now, I say all of this to say this right now. Everything that these brothers perceivably, preach to the people is really not what they were standing on. See, where I come from is loyalty before royalty, right? Even the creator, right? Expect loyalty before royalty. Being obedient is being loyal to somebody. And when you remain loyal, you get the soil, you get royal, you get everything. When you're not loyal, then he won't be loyal. And then you what? You're going to die and get put right back into the soil. You feel me? So that's always been my motto growing up. It was loyalty over royalty. You got to be loyal first, right? So when I see that the loyalty was a forefront, and there's a lot of us, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of individuals that when I no longer was a part of, never called to check in, never said hello, what's up, how you doing? In fact, one of the teachers decided to reach out to me after he left the organization, right? And it's all good, but I'm just letting you know that when you are a part of these things, it's literally a cultish behavior. And they use the word of God to hide the cultish behavior. And when you start seeing things and you start questioning things, they have the rebuttals to make you question the visions Sunini Nanini is giving you. So you're going to say things, so you'll see things and be like, yo, bro, that's not right. First thing they're going to say, you're not in the right spirit. You got to get right, bro. You got to fast and pray. So guess what you're doing? You're going home, you're going to fast and pray. So you're gonna rebuke the vision that the word says that the children's gonna see visions. So you're seeing these things, you're witnessing these things, but you're being told that's not what it is. And even to this very day, we still carry this foundation where we still carry this cultish behavior, right? Where we will receive revelations and we need confirmation from others that didn't receive the revelation. If I come to you and I say, yo, look at this right here, and you come and you tell me, yeah, let me go run this by such and such. That means in order for something to be accepted, you got to wait for a man to provide you, when the objection is to seek the creators and allow the creators to provide it for you. Everything that I said, when individuals went to seek the creators, the creator displayed it. Because what I'm saying is not for me. I don't sit here and look for things to find, to rebuke, to rebuttal, to have brothers and sisters follow me. Don't follow me. I have nothing to offer but my voice. I have nothing to offer but my voice. I have a whole colony I need to protect and make sure that they get to the next level. They get back to the Holy Land. Now, if you want to be a part of that, you got to bring something to the table. Whether it's your wits, whether it's something that you're strong in, whether it's cooking, reading, fighting, you have to bring something to the table to be amongst this, because this is what a community is. So when I see that these individuals was really not doing what the word says, like I said, it was a respect of persons. You understand? I'm respecting whatever the authority says. I'm going to do whatever the authority says. But the only authority over us is the creators. And if it doesn't go in line with what the creators is saying, then why should I subscribe to it? Who is over the creator? And that was part of the problem. These brothers they started to believe that they was bigger than the creator themselves. They got too big-headed. They became too prideful. It was from the outskirt, you see it as humble, but inside their actions displayed a prideful man, a prideful woman, a prideful group of individuals who would terrorize, backbite, demoralize, condemn, do everything with the word, to prove themselves, to prove to themselves and prove to you, make you believe why they are the superior, why they are the chosen, and you was nothing but a sheep. You're not the shepherd. This is what they would. This is the aroma that came with these brothers. And when I seen that, and when my man told me what they told me, and when I see brothers online, for example, had another brother, and he done came to the summer conversations. He's still in a battle because he can't found them to believe that Isis Rael was an interjection into the word. So my job, like I said, I'm not here to force nobody. You gotta go through your journey. Go through it, fam. So now he was with a group of people, but he's not calling on the God name that these group of people was calling on. So he was blocked and kicked off. And I'm saying to myself, how are we supposed to be building up a community, but we can't even reason? My level of disagreement shouldn't have to lead to you condemning me, rebuking me, removing yourself from me, because this is what they teach. See, when you don't follow their path, the first thing that they're going to say is, yeah, he went back into the world. Yeah, he overtaken by some spirits. Just leave the brother alone. Mind you, you're being told to leave a brother alone while this brother is still in this world, battling full of demon spirits, and you leaving your brother alone. When the word says, if you got 99 sheep and one sheep go away, that one sheep, you better make it your business to bring back. See, they wasn't practicing what they was teaching. See, when you was in the churches, when you was in these congregations, they had precepts for everything. They had precepts to make you feel good. They had precepts to make you feel, to look forward, and got you believing that the second coming is coming. And don't worry, yeah, we're gonna rise. That's what it was when you was inside. But when you stepped outside, that energy didn't even, that energy, that approach didn't even apply to you. Like I said, my mother and my children were still attending. And not one time did anybody reach out to my mother. I had brothers' numbers all in my phone. We was to text every day to, yeah, leave him where he's at. Mind you, blood, sweat, and tears shed. And individuals act like you didn't exist. So these behaviors and these actions was part of the reason, and is one of the main reasons, should I say, into why I would never walk back into these organizations. When you see brothers is condemning people because they're not wearing fringes, or condemning people because they're not calling on what they calling on. When you see that, and it's with the word that they're using, when you see that, that was the indication. And that's an indication for everybody to realize that this is not the ways of the Creator, but this is the way of Lucifer. This is a cult. This is not about salvation. Let me take that back. This is not about redemption. This is about salvation. How can you salvage the slaves and keep them a part of your organization? You got to teach them salvation. Sell to the slaves. And what really made me realize that everything that we was being told was a complete lie. And shout out to Deadly Lioness. She is I can't wait for her to come out with her YouTube. When she do, you guys will be, hey, she has that warrior in her. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to hear none of that. Yo, no woman supposed to. Nah, she got full authority to teach, especially under my watch. She gotta come on this on the repent or die and give it to y'all. She can. And she came, she's one of those that goes dig deep. She's gonna find out what she needs to find out. And when she brought forth that a higher story and who he was and where he came from and who his father was, that made me to then go analyze and go question, what the heck is this Hebrew stuff? What's the origin behind it? Who created this? And you guys are so ignorant. You guys really thinking, look, ain't nobody created it. It's from God. What God? Who authorized that? Who published it? Who wrote it? It wasn't black people. It wasn't. So where did this understanding come from? And I want to show you. I want to show you. Share my screen. I want to show you. This is where it originated from. This man right here. This man right here is the father of this Hebrew teachings. This man right here. William S. Crowley. This is him. Now, let me read just a little bit for you, just so you guys can get an idea. William S. Crowley, born August 11, 1847, and died August 4th, 1908, was an American soldier, preacher, entrepreneur, and pastor. He was also one of the earliest known black Hebrew Israelites in the United States. He established the Church of God and Saints of Christ in 1896. And after he claimed to have had visions telling him that blacks were descendants of the 12 lost tribes of Israel. Now, this is where I want you guys to pay attention to. Religious life. Crowley settled in Oklahoma after his retirement from the railroad. He became a deacon in the local Baptist church and an active member of the Prince Hall branch of Freemasons. Okay? Okay? And everybody that was a part of this Freemason, and for those that's, that's a part of it, you're required to read particular books. But it was only a handful at that time that was required to read the book of Talmud. Now, but he's not the one. He's not the one that started it. He's not the one that started it. This is the man that started it. You see this? Was the founder and leader Frank S. Cherry of the early black Hebrew Israelite groups in the United States. Okay? He is the father. Listen, now what do William S. Crowley and Frank Cherry have in common? Let me read it for you. It says little is known about Cherry's early and adult life other than he was born in the southern United States. He did not go to school but educated himself in both Hebrew and Yiddish and worked as a sailor, doing which he claimed to have been declared a prophet. This is the key word right here. He was a 33-degree Scottish Rite and member of the Big Brother organization. Now, William S. Crowley was a 33-degree, and he was a Scottish Rite. This means that this man was the one that was being taught by the Jesuits. As you can see, he spoke Yiddish, Hebrew. He was taught by the Jesuits. This is where your understanding comes from. Okay? The Big Brother organization. Okay? Okay? See, when I see these things right here, this is when I realize, how can you serve two masters? Either you're going to love one or hate the other. How can you be a 33-degree Mason and prophesy that you're walking with your Savior? How did you receive these informations? Who was feeding you this text? How did you get access to the Talmud? How did you know how to speak Yiddish? In order for you to speak Yiddish, you had to be around Yiddish people. And they had to confirm, because racism never stopped. And racism at those times was still at an all-time high. They're not just going to talk to you or teach you or have you around them unless there wasn't an agenda. See, the whole agenda was to prevent brothers and sisters from ever connecting to the creators, ever. Ever. Because they knew that Christianity, the Christian church, it was only going to be a short period of time because it was so much fractions of it. It was only so much that these religious factors can hold. It was only for so long that the teachings that they was given can be upheld and be believable. And what do all these people have in common? Is the times they was putting these churches together. See, so Frank Cherry, right? He linked up with William S. Crowley. Okay? And they taught man. And I'm going to show you something too. Where we at? Hold on. I'm going to show you something too. Show you. Let me pull this. Look, right here. This is Frank Cherry. Cherry claimed to have visions that African Americans or the descendants of ancient Israelites during his time abroad. He then established and led a congregation in Tennessee in 1886 where he preached that white people were inherently evil and hated by God. He would attempt to spread this belief to Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. You remember in the book of Revelations, they tell you Philadelphia. That's why he went there. Remember, he was in Tennessee. He went there purposely. You guys, all right. Where he established the Church of God in 1915. Now, the ISUPK, was established in what two states? New York and Philadelphia. But I want to continue reading. It says, tenets of his group, known as the Church of the Living God, the pillar grounds of truth for all nations, include black nationalism and support for Marcus Garvey. Cherry also espoused anti-Semitism, claiming that the earth is square, and profess, listen, this is the key word, and profess that Jesus will return in the year 2000. Now, why did I have to read this? Because every single organization that you guys consider camps all derive from this teaching right here. GOCC, IUIC, part of the GMS. But what's the other one? And a lot of these other church followers, Hebrew Israelites, are just individuals that listen and follow these dudes on the internet and started to do their own thing. We talking about the Sakari individuals. What's the other one? There's another one. All these brothers just took bits in that and said, we're gonna do our own thing, and they did their own thing. Right? But in the year 2000, when they realized, when the year 2000 came and nothing happened, no Jesus arrived, no race wars, no redemption, no ships of Tarshish, no nothing happened. Brothers end up leaving this ISUPK, leaving the teachings of Frank Cherry, and started teaching their own. They started teaching their own. And I'm waiting for my big bro to put he had a the full breakdown of how the Hebrews got into the hands of the slaves. See, this is just the tip of the iceberg. When you dig deep, you're gonna be so disappointed, even down to the HSBU, the historical black colleges, the Spellmans and all of that. You'll be shocked to find out that every single one of these things play a major pivotal role in our demise when it came to our awakening to who we are. All of it play a part. All of it, even to this very moment. Right? So brothers started stepping away from this. They created their own thing. And look, even when you and what do all of these people have in common? Every single one of them had this depiction, or this vision, should I say. Every single one of them. Oh, I had a vision. I was sleeping, and then a vision told me. Was it a vision or was it a spirit? We don't know. But they don't give you too much on Frank Cherry, because he was when you part of this Scottish right here, it's forbidden, because this is this is one of the powerfulest Freemasons of them all. And he was a 33 degree. That means he was up there with Aleister Crowley. He was up there with Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley, by the way, was also a 33 degree Scottish Rite Freemason. He wasn't just a regular Freemason. He was a 33 degree Scottish Rite. Pull this up. He was a 33 degree. Okay? Okay? You see this? This is what comes with this with 33 degree. The myths of the Jacobites origins. French writer Jean-Marie Ragon and Emmanuel Rebel in their Masonic histories first claimed that the first high degree were created and practiced in the lodge of the Congregates Kingwe at what is it? Edwinburg, which is entirely false. That's what they're going to tell you. Okay? This thing they made sure that this thing was came down to the West Indies. 1762, 1616, 100 years later, they were bringing this teaching down to the West Indies. Okay? They was bringing this down to the West Indies. I just want you guys to understand this. It was in Haiti as well. Albert Pike. Albert Pike, yes. Dogs in Dogma. Albert Pike. Okay? This is a different organization, guys. This is a different organization. This is different. This is different from William Crowley. This is different. He's Prince Hall. Prince Halls is for the black folks. Prince Halls is what the mass majority of black people in the neighborhoods, right? Police officers, firefighters, they join this. The Scottish Rite, yeah. And to be a black person, you got to question, was Frank Cherry even black? There's no pictures of him. Why? Because he's part of the top of the line. See, you guys don't understand what you are participating in. You guys don't understand that these things was literally put in place to mislead you, to deceive you, to corrupt you, to confuse you, to condemn you, to put you under a spiritual bondage. Have your soul under control by spirits. When you call on these names, when you try to speak that language, the man was taught Yiddish and Hebrew. Come on. Scottish Rite. That man was in the same room, in the same table with Albert Pike. These are the founding fathers of this Hebrew Israelite madness that you guys are believing. That you guys are really believing. You guys really believe this story. Not knowing that this story was tainted from the very beginning. William S. Crowley, Frank Cherry, 33-degree Masons, Talmud book readers, Hebrew Yiddish speaking, and now they got you believing that. Now ask yourself, does this display anything of righteousness? Does this display any level of righteousness? Go to images. Who told you? Who told you that we dress like this? Who told you that we dress like this? You're basing this off images that they put up. Who told you you dress like this? Show me where we was dressing like this. Because if you want to base it off the pyramids, we wasn't dressing like that in the pyramids. The thing that's on the tablet wasn't dressing like that. Who's illustrating all of these pictures? Who's doing so? See, you don't realize that you're just copying and pasting their customs. That's why they laugh at you. Why you think because you're not putting this shishiki on your head, the shanakaka on the top of your head, or this big ass, this is paying homage to how they was in the wintertime in Poland, in Russia, in Ukraine. It gets cold out there, and they had to keep that on. That's the same thing on their head with what the Vikings wore. But this right here, this outfit, this is Roman Catholic. This is what the nuns wore. Who told you you was dressing like this? Who told you? Who told you? Who told you? And the sad thing is, these clothes that these sisters is wearing, this is African, bro. Just take off these foolishness. Who told you? See, I only could speak for the men, right? Because women attire always been like this, always. But I could only speak for the men. Who told you that this is how we supposed to dress? Who told you this? Who told you this? Who told you this? Where's the historical proof? Show me a black man in this ancient attire. If this is our attire, then why wasn't the Haitian people doing this when they got their freedom? Huh? Who told you this? You gotta correct it right. You gotta correct it right. Huh? Isn't this right here the 33 degrees? This triangle right here? Isn't this the 33-degree Mason? These fringes, these are interjections. This is we don't wear this. The Scottish Hole wears this. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. Look. Who told you? Who told you? Who told you to put on a Power Ranger outfit? These are the purple Power Rangers. Look. Look. Gang members. Stars of David. And not the star of David. How can David have a star when this man kept all commandments, and the command said no graven image from the skies above or the ground beneath. So why would David have a star? But Meg David would do so. Yes, Meg David. Look him up. Or what's his name? Megan David? Huh? Look. 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 Look at the fringes. Same thing. Look at the fringes. It's the same thing. Look at the fringes. Look. Let me pull this one out. Look. It's the same thing. It's pattern. Tall. This is what Frank Cherry was a part of. I mean, this is what William S. Crowley was a part of. And this is what Frank Cherry was a part of. You see? They dressing different. Okay? Okay? Now, what is a nigger, and I gotta say it like that, doing amongst these men? Speaking Hebrew and Yiddish. You gotta, you gotta ask yourself, was he even black? And if so, was he full fledged black, or was he a mixture of both? Because he could look like this guy right here. Let me see. Let me zoom into this. This guy right here. He could be him. I don't know. I don't know. Look at these symbol. Look at don't these brothers be having these things around their waist, around their wrists? Excuse me. Don't they be having these things around their neck? It's all a copy and paste, man. This is where I would never go back. And when I see brothers is still fighting and arguing and saying, you don't know what you're talking about, and brothers is blocking each other, I'm like, yo, if you guys only even knew what you are participating in. If you don't, ask yourself this question: how are you keeping the commands according to you, according to what you're saying, but yet you're still the tail and not the head? How is this so? How is this so? Even the handshake. When I forgot, it gotta touch this part of your thumb. Even the handshake. Like something like this. When they shake, it gotta touch this part. Like there's a lot of things that you got. Like you see it. You see it. You see where his thumb is touching. His thumb is touching a particular part. It's touching like right here. I mean, at some point, people, at some point, you gotta ask yourself. You gotta ask yourself what you getting yourself into, man. Shout out, shout out to you for waking up and getting out of that, man. I was in it. I was in it. In it. I wanted when I was so in it that when my son before he was born, I was contemplating and giving him a Hebrew name. I forgot the name. Like I was really in it. Like I was really in. I was devoted to this, people. So shout out to you for getting out of that. And again, this is not no disrespect. I'm just telling brothers and sisters the truth because you're gonna find somebody. Watch, they're gonna be the rebuttal. They're gonna say things, yeah, coming from you who's bald headed, coming from you who's just mad. You're gonna hear everything. Everything that I said, everything that I just presented to you, you're gonna find a reason. They're gonna find a reason to say that what I'm saying is false. What I'm saying is not true. You know why? Because they're under hypnosis. And I got a news flash for you guys. For every single black person that's a part of any religion, mainly the Christianity and the ISIS-Ra elite club. The reason why you're not understanding what I'm saying to you is because you're still drinking blood. Until you put down the blood drinking, if you're thinking that I'm lying, you can just read Leviticus 17, verse 10. As long as you're drinking blood, you shall be removed from amongst the people, from amongst the children. And if you remove from amongst the children, you're also being removed from the connection with the heavenly ones. And if you thinking what I'm saying is far-fetched, I give you a challenge. I give you a challenge. Name your wager. If you can go 3 months without drinking blood and really seek what I'm telling you, even if you're seeking to prove me wrong, I promise you, you will get this revelation and you will realize that everything that you was been a part of from this very moment has been a full-fledged lie. It's your brother, man, from the motherland, man. I came to you guys live, man. Continue supporting, leaving all your feedback, man. All things is respected and needed, man. Listen, I just gave you guys my testimony. I mean, I know I'm long-winded, but I just had to just talk about it. The same way I would never go back, I hope you guys would never go back. And it's okay. And it's okay. You're not forsaking the assembly because the minute you came out the womb, you was a part of the assembly. You forsake it when you join these religions. And guess what, people? Hebrew Israelite is a religion. Are you dumb or are you dumb? Listen to the Creator say one time for the one time. Are you dumb? And I'ma holler at y'all. One.